Okay, so we saw what happened when we added vinegar to baking soda. We had a chemical reaction. We're going to turn that into an experiment. So now we're not talking about volcanoes. We're just going to experiment on this. All experiments start with what? Right, asking a question. So here's my question. Are we going to get the same reaction that we got with the baking soda and vinegar if we add vinegar to an antacid? And the reason I was wondering about that is baking soda is a chemical compound called sodium bicarbonate. Well, that's one of the main ingredients in antacid. Oh, and an antacid is something that grown-ups take sometimes and they have upset stomachs. So same materials, except this also has aspirin in it and citric acid in it. So I wonder if we'll get the same kind of reaction. So that was our first step. We asked the question. Second step is what? Hey, very good, right? It's to make your hypothesis. What do you think is going to happen? So I want you guys thinking about that. Come up with your hypothesis. Do you think, yeah, we're going to get the same reaction? Or no, I think we're going to get a different reaction. So before we actually start testing, I want to make sure that I have a place to collect my data. So I made super simple little recording sheet here. We're going to test it 3 times, and I'm just going to check it if, yeah, we got this same reaction, or I'm going to check this over here if we got a different reaction. So this is something that you guys can do at home. You don't have to watch me do it. If you want to try it out, if you have these ingredients at home, and if you have permission, try it out. Make sure that you have the same amount each time you test, the same amount of baking soda, the same amount of vinegar, and the same amount of antacid. So the antacid is our variable. That's the thing that we're doing differently, but then everything else we want to make sure that we do the same, okay? Again, please make sure that you have permission. But if you want to go ahead and do this on your own and find out, go for it, you guys. That would be awesome. And then just let me know what you found out. I'd love to hear from you. But parents, please remember, I'm not expecting a turned-in assignment, okay? So if this is something you can't do, you don't have the materials, please don't worry about it, okay? I'm not concerned about that. I'm hoping you guys get a chance to try things out. So let's try it out, okay? So I am going to angle my laptop so you can see the cups down here. Better move those back a little bit. And now here we go. I'm going to put in 1 spoonful of vinegar into each thing. So there it goes into the baking soda. So we get lots of bubbles, big reaction. Same amount goes here in the antacid. And okay, well, I'm going to raise this up a little bit. So not as big of a reaction, but interesting. So look at that. The baking soda had a big reaction, but it's not really doing anything now. But look at how the antacid is still reacting. It's still bubbling. That is really cool. Okay, so test number 1, I see that, it was different, wasn't it? So let me grab my board here and my marker, and I want to make sure, got to collect data. Sometimes our memories aren't very good, especially when we're doing things more than once. So I am going to just mark on here that we got a different result that time that we tested it. Okay, so I tell you what, you guys, I've done this before, and it was a super long video because I kept, I did it 3 times. And, well, it was a long video. So I don't want you guys to have to sit here and watch me do it again and again. So I'll just let you know what happened. Again, if you want to find it out yourself, stop the video, find it out yourself. But if you don't have the materials, I'll tell you what happened. So that time was different, right? We got a very different reaction. Well, guess what? That was the case every time we did it. So when I did it 3 times, my board, my data sheet, came out looking like this. Every time we did it, they had different reactions from each other. Yeah, they both bubbled, but they did it differently. The baking soda had the first initial big reaction, and then it just kind of died out, stopped. But the antacid just kept bubbling and kept bubbling. Didn't have a real big reaction, but it keeps reacting. Like right now, I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's still bubbling. The other one quit. It's not bubbling at all. So, hey, if your hypothesis was that they were going to be different, well, look what? Your hypothesis was supported. That's what we say. We don't go, yeah, I was right. We just say, my hypothesis was supported by what actually happened. Now, if your hypothesis was they're going to react the same, please remember, and I say this all the time, we don't ever get upset and go, oh man, I was wrong. No, all we say is, I just learned something. Cool. That's all it is, you guys. Doing a hypothesis and testing things out is not about finding out if you're right or if you're wrong. It's all about learning. That's all we're trying to do. Okay, so doing the experiment, we started with the question. We made our hypothesis. We did the experiment, and as we were doing it, we collected data. And then what you do is you take a look at that data and say, okay, what does it tell me? What have I learned? And then you would report your result. So we usually do in class those 6 steps. So our result is, hey, we get a different reaction when we add vinegar to an antacid than we got from adding it to baking soda. All right, so I hope you guys get a chance to try it out. Again, if not, that's okay too. Maybe if not this week, maybe another time. So keep this in mind. All right, you guys, it would have been a lot more fun to actually be able to do that in class and have you guys in here and do it, but hope you're all still staying safe. And as usual, I miss you. All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye.